Greetings commanders and welcome back to the Warpath video. My name is Eagle, and as you can see we're back again at the test server, and right now we're actually going to be doing a unit highlight video. We haven't done any of these videos actually ever, and we wanted to try out this type of video where we take down a unit, we max it out, and we test it in different environments and we see how this unit actually performs and is it worth actually investing on and making it all the way to the maxed out level. And the reason why we do these videos is because, as you know, maxing out a unit all the way to the maximum level takes so much time, and it takes just like insane amounts of effort in order to get this all the way to, as you can see, like this is literally the max out level that we have seen right now. Obviously we haven't maxed out the prototypes yet. We can give this to probably 160k if we even put the parts on, but regardless of that, let's say we don't have parts, we don't have prototypes, we're just gonna test it out at 122k, which is basically max out upgrades, max out modifications, which is almost enough actually to get a unit to a really hardcore level. Our unit for the day is the M6 Lion Baker, which is basically the light tank that is at the maxed out tier. As you can see, this is tier 15, and this unit is massive. If you didn't know this, modern tank light tanks, what happens is that they start automatically switching between land and air units. So that means when it sees an air unit that's targeting it, it automatically switches to target it. In addition to that, it can shoot ground units immediately, switching and automatically doing that without having you to click on the button to switch to attack an air unit or a ground unit. So that is a massive feature that is added to them when it comes to modern tanks. But there's also the overall performance of this tank in the battlefield, which has extremely high troop speed, and we're gonna test this unit out against two different units, like in two different scenarios. First of all, let's talk about the stats of this unit before we start testing this unit out, and we're going to tell you all you need to know about the attributes. So first of basically what we have over here is the firepower, and as you know, the firepower, we have the damage over here, which is 121k, and it shoots at 1.94% seconds per shot. That means every 1.94 seconds it's gonna be dealing 1 to 1k damage, unless it like misses the hit, because it has a hit rate of 88.62%, which is relatively one of the highest hit rates right now in the game. It's very high considering all the other peers units, which are the ground troops that we can see right in front of us. Also in terms of HP, it is a decent HP, but it's considered of the kind of squishy endgame units, because you know, there's like so many other units that have way more HP. So at the level 1, this one, so if we take this one, turn it to a level 200, you can see the difference, right? So there's a massive difference in terms of HP between the light tanks and any other tank that is actually theoretically within the game. So at level 1, the helicopters are almost there, right? So this is considered a squishy kind of HP when it comes to the late game. So you have to be extremely careful when you're micromanaging this unit around the battlefield, because one single hit from a howitzer, maxed out howitzer, would be able to be devastating if you aren't paying attention to this unit. But on the other hand, it can deal massive amounts of damage on the battlefield, and it's definitely one of the tanks that is worth upgrading, especially that it counters tank hunters, helicopters, howitzers, and anti-tank hunters. So it deals extra damage to these, but it's countered by medium tanks and main battle tanks. It says it counters helicopters, but I can debate that a lot. So we're going to be testing this out in a different video and seeing, because I really wanted to do a highlight about helicopters to show you that why they are extremely good. So we're going to be testing those out against different units. So hey, if you want to check out this video, make sure you subscribe down there so that you would get notified when that video comes out, because there's a lot of things that we need to discuss about these testings, and you guys requested so many testings. So we are right now baking them in the oven, and in order to get these out for you guys. But by the way, this is update 6.0. So we're right now in the test server, this is update 6.0. And we literally know everything that's gonna happen there. We're testing out all these kind of different stuff. So if you want to know all you need to know about update 6.0 before the update is actually released and before the patch notes are actually released, we will have videos ready for everything that you will need to know about that, and you can see that actually in action before the update comes out, so that you would know exactly how to prepare for it. So hey, if you want to know exactly when that comes out, maybe hit the like button down there and subscribe, it will definitely help us out a lot. But hey, we skipped that part. Let's go to the light tanks right now. So in terms of attributes, we know the firepower and HP, but let's talk about the troop speed. The troop speed is basically the highest right now in the game. We can see that helis are actually very fast, but compared to these troops over here, there's literally no other units that is faster. As you can see, all the other units that we have seen are around 50. This is 67 kilometers per hour. That means you will be cruising through the battlefield, especially if you have officers that even increase that more, so it will be way faster in the battlefield. It doesn't have any pen depth that is noticeable, to be honest. Usually when you're trying to kind of break down an armor, so let's take a look at, for example, the main battle tanks. If you take a look at their sloped armor, there's no way you can actually pen that. It's very highly unlikely that you will actually be able to pen something like that, but you will be able, for example, to pen rocket launchers or even maybe howitzers or ATGs, but you want to also, there's a high chance you won't be able to pen helicopters. As you can see, the sloped armor is almost the same as the pen depth of the light tank, so there is a good chance that you will be able to pen them. But to be honest with you guys, the helis definitely will be able to pen you more than you will be able to pen them. So make sure that you're very careful when it comes to when you're fighting helicopters with this specific tank. This is basically what the light tank is all about. It takes crew of 3 reserves if you want to take out like one of these light tanks, but when you have a maxed out barracks, you can fit 34 of these without expansions, of course. So for the test for today, we have 2 different units. The leader is going to be Guardian of the Truth, and we have also this guy as secondary. What you can see right in front of you is these 2 officers right now. If they're maxed out, that's what you need to know. They're maxed out officers, and this is basically what we have. So in terms of the testing, we have this over here. This is a maxed out fighter plane of Martyr Watch, and it has 2 officers. I believe these 2 officers were Comet and Phantom, Silver Comet and Phantom. These are the 2 main officers that are on this. So that would be the first test, to see how quickly a light tank can actually, or how much damage a light tank can actually deal to such units that when they are actually maxed out. And then we have a howitzer over here, and this howitzer is also maxed out with Shevchenko and Guardian of the Truth, I believe. Not the Guardian of the Truth, the other one, the new officer that is available. I completely forgot their name, but yeah, this is a fully maxed out howitzer, super strong. We're probably gonna be losing this fight against it, but hey, I wanted to really test it out to see if these modern units can actually take down a howitzer that is fully maxed out. It's always worth to see such fights, what happens. So let's go ahead and start with the first text, and I will show you exactly what I mean when it comes to actually see. This is basically what I mean. It automatically switches to these and automatically starts attacking, and right now you can see the attack happening. Let's go ahead and actually put that right in the middle, and you can see there's 2 we're dealing a lot of damage already. So let's go ahead and see how much damage we can actually deal to this unit. Now, you will not be able to see the total power loss until one of these units falls down, because as you can see, this is a unit of 5, so there's 4, 4, 4, and then there's 5 over here. So that means that once one of these units falls down, you'll be able to see the decrease in power. So let's go ahead and wait for one of these to fall down. Apparently they're targeting the 5 units more, so let's go ahead and see once these 5 units are taken out, how much power this kind of troops is gonna lose, and are we able to actually deal a lot of damage in the process. So the overall damage dealt is kind of slow, but usually when there's battles happening, this will cause a lot of pressure, because these units or these fighter planes, when they are kind of dogfighting with another fighter plane, and then you have a light tank that is fighting them from down there, that will cause a lot of pressure on these fighter planes, and it's all about actually dealing pressure. And that was actually the shield from the fighter planes over there, because they kind of dodged one shot, and that unit's almost done for. As you can see, it's almost there. Just one more second over here, and we'll be able to take down this unit. So yep, that unit is done. So as you can see, it's a bit slow. It's not gonna be the fastest. These like fighter planes can easily run, but imagine having like 2 of these or 3 of these even, and then you have like other, like these fighter planes are dogfighting. You can gain a lot of value out of this, right? So especially if you're like taking down one of these units that are maxed out, especially when there's events happening, that's a lot of points. And that's a lot of pressure on your enemies because they don't want to be in this kind of situation when there's light tanks actually targeting them and they can't target them back unless they have bombers. But even in that case, then you can usually target them with your fighter planes. So overall, this definitely helps out a lot, and you can gain tons of points, especially if your enemies are just AFK, having their fighter planes like near their base without actually taking care of them. You can gain tons of points with the light tanks, and I've know a lot of people who gained the majority of their points in the Conquest event just from this kind of strategy over here. So this is basically the fighting speed or the amount of damage that you can actually deal throughout a light tank that is maxed out versus a maxed out fighter plane. Now let's go ahead and do another test. I'm gonna return those fighter planes, and we are gonna be switching now to, as you can see right now, it's still in kind of the mode where it fights airplanes, but right now we're gonna be going to ground troop modes, and we're gonna be fighting this over here. Let's take a look at the howitzer right now. Let's say that the howitzer is actually not AFK and starts attacking. So let's take a look at what's gonna happen right now. So as you can see, we are doing some damage right now. We're displaying some damage, and light tanks definitely counter howitzers. This is a maxed out howitzer. As you can see, Saber of the Nation was the name, I forgot it, and Shevchenko, and the light tanks completely devastated those. As you know, Saber of the Nation and Shevchenko are probably one of the highest ranked officers for this specific combo. That was a maxed out officer over there, or howitzer, sorry. We barely lost any HP, to be honest with you guys. Take a look at this HP. We're still at like 90% HP in terms of the light tank, and that was about like, what I say, 5-6 seconds takedown, which is amazing. So you can see how these light tanks counter artilleries at an extremely high rate. We only literally lost one light tank in this fight, which is kind of amazing, right? When you have two maxed out units and the only loss against the other units is like 95% HP remaining, which is, it's amazing, right? So light tanks are definitely worth investing in, especially to the late game. So your targets are gonna be howitzers, ATGs, fighter planes, and well, basically overall just screwing around the battlefield. Other light tanks as well definitely is one of the like targets for viewers. I would argue that helicopters are not a target for light tanks. They can definitely deal a lot of damage back and forth, but when it comes to actual value versus helicopters, then definitely I think helicopters can stand their ground, especially when you look at their stats over here. I mean, just take a look. When you max this out, you were talking about very high firepower versus this. Like, let's take a look at maxed out helis right now. This is a maxed out heli. This is what a maxed out heli looks like. And versus this, right? We have almost double the stats on the helicopter right now. And even more armor, more slopped armor, more pen depth. So in terms of helis, I think helis would stand definitely a very high chance. And in our next video, we're going to be showing you just that. We're going to be highlighting helicopters and showing you how helicopters deal with different types of tanks. We're going to be going helis versus light tanks. We're going to be going helis versus main battle tanks as well. So we're gonna be doing all different combos with helis, and it's gonna be super fun. So if you want to check out that video out, make sure to check it. It's gonna be dropping probably in 1 or 2 days from this video, and hey, thank you so much for watching, and we'll definitely see you on the next video. Bye bye.